Say that Vinnie Jones is a hard man. That is a kind of a compliment and kind of a.
It's a proper.
It's a label that you kind of like to have.
It's not in the Viagra terms anyway, is it?
No,
It's more
nothing,
of like this.
Which
nothing.
he had to explain to me.
If you follow Premier League football, soccer as we call it, a hard man is a tough guy. It's like an enforcer.
Enforcer. That's what I did when I played in the Premier League.
You played for years and years and years, and then you suddenly had this movie career and television career that shockingly, Vinnie.
Well, I'm shocking. Steve, I'm only just starting in this business.
You're shocked that you have this career.
I am shocked.
Okay.
Guy Ritchie gave me the chance in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, so, you know, that was comedy, and then Snatch was comedy. And then I came over and I did Gone in 60 Seconds and Swordfish and then X-Men. So I got away from the comedy. Right. So we try to do a conscious effort to get back to the comedy now.
Yeah.
So, you know, when Galavant came along as a TV show, it was great.
Maybe you would call it cheeky? Tongue-in-cheek?
Tongue-in-cheek. Tongue-in-cheek.
Well,
I know she was with somebody from Manchester last night, so she's giving me all this.
I'm giving him a hard time.
In her gaff. She was in her gaff up in the Hollywood Hills somewhere.
I don't want to hear about her dissolute life and who she's with every night. That's a whole other story. Vinnie Jones is with us. He is in Galavant.
We haven't even introduced you.
Yes,
We're just talking.
We have a clip, so take a look.
The superfluous Vinnie Jones.
Okay.
All right, Gareth, I've bought us some time. What's next? What do you think?
You know what I think? I think you should start acting like a man and not like a king. I think you should have fought that old geezer of a brother of yours, kicked his he wouldn't be in this position we are right now. And how does he get this hummus so creamy? I mean, when I do it myself, I can't get it this creamy. And the chickpea is so perfectly blended, it's yummy.
There's that word again.
Yeah, geezer means two words. You're either an old geezer or you are a proper geezer.
You're the guy, right?
You're the top man, yeah.
In some cases, both.
Before we get on to anything else, I was explaining to some people, we know you here as an actor. But if you talk to anybody from Manchester or anywhere else who follows the game, they know this one picture. I'm sorry to do this to you.
Whoa.
Here's the picture. And we don't have the picture. But if we had the picture, which I thought we had, was the famous man part grab of you and another player while you were playing the Premier League. And that...
We should replicate it, Steve. What do you think?
Yes, but this time I play you.
Now you're talking.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough then. That's fair enough. Let's do it.
That one guy got a shot of you grabbing the man part of the player you're playing against.
We were playing the game.
I should watch more football.
Yeah, I think that was the first soccer soccer picture that got into Sports Illustrated in this country.
That's
1987.
Right. Yes.
That was the first one. I was a young geezer then.
Yes.
You were a young geezer.
And you grabbed his man parts, and there's an expression on
his face.
Grabbed his
nuts, yeah.
I'm trying to clean it up a little bit here.
I know, it's a morning show, Steve.
It feels late night now. So you grabbed him, his face, and it was a big deal. He sent you roses afterwards.
He sent me roses afterwards, and then I sent him back the toilet brush from our restrooms.
That was very nice. Did you remain friends after that?
We did, Steve. Unfortunately, you know, he's an alcoholic now, and he's a drug problem.
Yes.
He really is the modern day Georgie Best. You know, Georgie died from the alcohol and everything, and he's done the same. And it was a big shock to me because I love to drink at the weekend and, you know, really enjoy the drink at the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago I quit. I saw him. I went to see him 2 years ago. We all did, we all contributed into putting him into rehab. And it's just so sad, you know, how the alcohol can ruin.
But you saw yourself there. You saw your future there, maybe.
Well, I see what it does.
Yes.
I see what it does.
Well, there's all these great stories of you meeting the Queen after a couple bottles of wine.
I met the Queen on her birthday, yeah. You get, if you're privileged enough, you get invited to sing or, you know, do some jokes on her birthday at the Royal Variety Performance, it's called. And a friend of mine's a scalper. And he said, well, if you get the chance, just ask her, because royalty always have the two best seats in the house.
You didn't.
And when we were there was 100,000 people, and we were getting 10 times face value at the time for the tickets. So I'd had a couple of bottles of red wine with Elton John before I performed, and I got the Dutch courage to ask her if she was using her tickets for the upcoming FA Cup final, and she said, why? And I said, because my friend's a scalper. And as I put my hand out to shake hands with her, she had moved on, and yeah, I was dancing with myself a little
But
bit.
you've got a story.
Speaking of stories,
It's a good story.
It's
you
a
Yeah.
good
describe
story.
the dog that's within you, the dog.
Yeah.
You got to fight that dog, right? Explain,
Yeah,
explain what I mean by that.
Well, I think when you grow up, people say devils and angels. You've got a devil and an
Yeah.
angel on one side, you know. And I think it was like in Animal House or something where we first saw that, where the little devil was telling him what to do with the young lady. But no, Guy Ritchie again actually told me a long time ago. He said, you know, people have got a dog, you know, and mine's bigger than most people's. I've got a big, bloody, ugly one, and when it comes out the kennel, it takes over me, and you know, just have a drink. It
That
won't
was
hurt
his
to have one
disease?
drink, or just do this. It won't hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to keep the dog firmly in the kennel and just keep an eye on it.
Is your
really.
early warning system better than it used to be?
Oh, in the last 2 years
Yeah.
since I've left the red wine alone, yeah. Chateau Neuve de Pape,
How'd
out the
you-
window.
How'd you do it? Did you just cold turkey?
Cold turkey, yeah. I went to 4 meetings to see what it was, and I went, yeah, I get this. I saw a psychologist twice, and I just went, yeah, here we go. You know, and this town is great for it. You know, I mean, the other side of it, I saw Ellen DeGeneres said on TV once, you know, to get on in this business, you know, you've got to basically be sober, gay, and Jewish. So I gave up the drink. I'm thinking about coming out and I'm saving up to be Jewish. So I'm, you know, now I've got my own TV show
2
with the
out of
boys
3
there on
ain't
Galavant.
bad. Yeah.
You know,
I'm making a conscious
If
effort.
you
There
stay
you
in this
go.
group, you got 3 out of 3.
There you go.
You can work it out. Yes.
Yeah.
What
I'm
phone
sorry,
am I?
Eloy. I got something from the booth. What'd you say?
Do we have the photo?
Oh, okay. They want us to talk about Galavant.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, please. Okay. You love playing these kind of roles. You're playing against your type, right?
Yeah, and I like the joke, you know, sort of playing off me.
Very funny.
You know, and it's billed as a musical comedy, you know, but it's sort of Monty Python.
It's very
It's a
Monty
modern day
Python.
Monty Python, you know, and for
Little
viewers that don't know
Princess
that.
Bride.
Yeah, you know, all the gags of, you know, jumping on the horse to look cool, and he
Yeah.
goes straight off the horse and stuff. And the gags are great. You know, Dan Fogelman and Chris Koch are responsible for that. Alan Menken wrote all the music for us, which, you know, 9 Oscars he's got. And we just had good fun, you know.
I know Ricky Gervais made an appearance.
Ricky was very superfluous.
Do you know him, or you just?
Yeah,
happen to be
well,
from
this
the
is the thing. We were on the set, and we filmed in Bristol. I've moved here. I get my first, you know, big TV role, and they say, "Oh yeah," because I was playing golf. And what I do with these meetings, I sort of run off the golf course, go to a meeting, and then go back to the golf course. And then the guys will say, "What's that meeting about?" I don't know. My manager will call me later. I'm not too sure. I get the part with Dan Fogelman, and they tell me it's in Bristol, in London.
So you have to move. Now you're paying rent here, or you bought a house.
Well, yeah, I live up on Mulholland, so
Yeah, I
you know
see.
we just rent it. But yeah, he said he was going to meet Ricky, and I said, well, I did extras for Ricky. Ricky asked a favour,
Did.
so I went and done extras. So I said, when you go and see him, tell him he owes Vin, you know, the favour.
Yeah.
So Ricky went along
Oh,
with that.
brilliant.
That was sort of a
good
little bit of a
payback.
deal. So Ricky did that. Ricky's fantastic, and then it's very hard. I had to walk off from outside the set onto set, and he was doing this argument, and I had to do it 3 or 4 times. The guy's so funny. You know.
Oh, yeah. I want every time we do a segment for people to learn something. You live in a proper gaff.
Proper gaff
Proper
up in Hollywood
gaff.
Hills, Steve.
A
Yeah.
gaff is
Your house,
your
you
house.
mentioned.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
different here.
yeah.
A gaff is what I do every day on the show. Gaffs.
Yes. You do a few gaffs.
Pleasure to
Big
meet you,
gaff.
Vinny.
Thank you, Steve.
Come
Thank
back
you so
again,
much.
okay? All right.
Pleasure.
I feel
Not this
like we're
early.
old
If you get a
friends.
night show, I might come on. I ain't getting up this early for you anymore.
Well, yeah, and you have to.
Jesus. They
I
pay us
know.
double for this.
And then he walks out and said, "I can't for this. I got up early for
I
this.
know.
You
For
can barely
this."
even say bollocks on this show, right?
All right, the Galavant series finale airs Sunday night on ABC. So go watch that. Go see Vinny. And Vinny, in the old
back
days,
is back.
you'd still be awake now. In the
Yeah,
old
I'll
days.
just be getting home.
Yeah, that's right. Say hello to Lisa. She's in the newsroom. Lisa.
Lisa? Where's Lisa?
Hi, Vinny. I'm right here.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. Hey, we have a great show coming up. So